Hello there, welcome to Plus Talk on Plus Life. We're all about turning positive into a plus. My guest today is RuPaul's Drag Race star, Lexi Love. Hey Lexi, great to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for making the time. Look, your journey from, to sort of drag race, drag queen and HIV advocate is incredible. But I want to go back a little bit. I want you to take us back to the earlier years. Tell us about some of the challenges that you faced growing up.
My challenges stem from childhood. Okay, I think that's kind of where I landed in this environment that made it possible for me to kind of be a part of this HIV family now. And I think that I have a situation that not a lot of people go through as much anymore. And it was, just the family home life was not as willing to just be progressive, be open thinkers, be, open lovers. There was a condition, I think, to love back then or when I was kind of being brought up. And thank goodness that standards changed. And it's even affected, people in my own life.
I guess you felt you had to kind of hide who you really were. And if so, how did you sort of process that at the time? And when you look back at it now, how does that make you feel?
So it's funny because I, for a long time, was very, very jaded about the whole situation because I was like, I had to hide. I had to pretend. My number one thing, I would wear like giant basketball shorts. I don't play basketball. Okay. That wasn't the oversized white t-shirts and a basketball short. And I was like, I can get away with this. No one will ever clock me. But it come to find out, I was doing drag all along. Like I was trying to make everybody perceive me in a certain way, and it worked for a certain amount of time. But it kind of played into my adult life and becoming a benefit versus a detractor.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know, recently you very courageously came out as HIV positive. I know how daunting that can be as someone living with HIV myself. What was the turning point for you? Why did you decide then to do it?
I mean, that was my the honest truth is that I was open and honest about it for the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
I hit it probably a little bit the first five, but I have been an open, loud and proud advocate, and I was just going about things like I normally would. So without even thinking that I had a platform that people were going to pay attention to, retweet, like send to other people for them to make comments. Like I didn't think any of that would happen because I've made other comments like that in the past. So to me, I was like, oh, there's a reason it happened. It was a blessing in disguise because I was just doing what I normally do.
Yeah, it's a bit similar to me. I didn't really hide my HIV status. Certainly amongst my friends and my family and my partners. I did keep it quiet in my professional life because I was like, it's nobody's business and it doesn't affect how I do my job. I'm guessing it was a bit sort of the same for you. But when you then do make an announcement, and because you have a bit of a public profile, ba-boom, and this thing goes viral. Has it surprised you that sharing your status has gotten the kind of news and coverage it did?
Absolutely, because I again came from a time there was no prep when I was young. So like I remember being at people's houses and them seeing my medication and getting scared and asking me to leave. So the fact that people now are like celebrating it and feeling inspired by it, I'm like, I I'm a little jealous that I didn't have somebody to make me feel that way then because I was so scared. But I'm so grateful that I can do that. I just am like, are you sure you want me?
I know exactly how you feel. You in the post where you talked about your HIV status, there was a point to it. It wasn't just of you going on and going, "Hey world, I'm HIV positive." You were taking aim at the administration and some pretty despicable changes that have happened. You talked about that you've relied on government aid and assistance through your HIV journey. Just tell us a bit more about that, because we share, again, the same story there.
I was a down and out youth. I didn't have insurance. I didn't really have a job. I was, stripping or go-go dancing, so my option was this government funded program in Kentucky where I did case management with the health department, and they got me enrolled in the Ryan White program, which helped with some of my dental issues that I had a long time ago. I just it's been a whirlwind of things that I have like been able to experience. There was a lot of care that went through at the UC Medical Center, which was extremely helpful to me, and I'm very grateful for all of those people there. But I contribute being alive today because of those government programs. Like they saved me.
Yeah, Ryan White, which funds a program called the AIDS Drug Assistance Program, otherwise known as ADAP. I too
Mhm.
am someone who utilized that program, and
Ah,
those are
my heart.
right. But those programs right now are up in the air and in danger. I mean, it makes my blood boil because there's a lot of focus given on how much money they're saying we're spending on USAID and PEPFAR, important programs. And I think people go, oh, well, that's overseas, that's Africa, doesn't bother here, doesn't matter. That's an ignorant kind of response anyway, because we all get on airplanes and travel. But this Ryan White program and ADAP is a
Yeah.
lifesaver. And we might not be able to get people on drugs.
It's a very worrisome time, but as just like before, I know that our like community is a group of people that will prevail. I know that there's works and trying to do different funding programs. I went from having a corporate job to being a touring drag queen, so I don't necessarily have the same amenities, income, and or insurance that I used to. So having a program like this is I'm super grateful for, but you never know how that's going to end up being affected. So this is a day by day battle right now, and it's just sad that we're in 2025 talking about things like this when we got so far away from the AIDS epidemic. To even think about, like taking a footstep closer to it is unbearable.
So, what kind of impact do you hope that you speaking out about it and using your voice, using the platform that you have, using the notoriety that you have, especially through Drag Race at the moment, what kind of impact do you hope that has on HIV stigma in this country?
I want our community at least to be able to accept and talk and be open about it. Like people with cancer. Now people with cancer in a regular community, you rally around that person. You surround them with love and understanding, and you want to help them through it. Like we all as a nation want to help people through that. Why can't we look at this the same way? Like once we have that type of care and that type of understanding and open-mindedness between ourselves and HIV care, then we'll be able to make real progress. That's the reason why I caught HIV, because somebody was afraid to be open and honest about it, and they weren't taking care of themselves, and I became, a product of that environment, sadly enough. And I want that to stop. I want people to feel comfortable enough to express themselves, to take care of themselves, and to know that it's not shameful.
Yeah, I mean, me too, but it seems like this country is so hung up on sex and so uptight about sex, they can't even say sex. Look, people in this country can't even say the word penis. They say wiener or dinkle because it's like we revert to little like kiddie talk, and I just don't understand it. But because if you say penis, then everyone freaks out. Like, that's how uptight we are, and yet, as I say, everybody likes it. Everyone enjoys doing it, either with people or by themselves.
100,000% agree.
What was the what was the moment for you, Lexi? You talked about 15 years. The moment though where you were able to find that acceptance and confidence within yourself. Those of us who get the diagnosis, we struggle with that self-acceptance. Do you remember the moment that you kind of, I guess, picked yourself up off the floor, dusted yourself off, and went, "Okay, I'm cool"?
Absolutely not. Um, no, this is a soul search. This is the eat, pray, love journey. This is not uh I've decided I'm like quitting cold turkey from doing something. This is a whole different ball game. I had to do so much soul searching and like self acceptance and reflection to even just be able to own it and not beat myself up over it. So once I started to pursue things that like I thought I could still achieve in this life, that's when then I slowly was able to make that mental progress to being not ashamed of myself internally or externally. But that again, it's I think that that was like a year of progress of like things happening in my life, me feeling like I was growing as an adult, becoming more mature and wanting to understand myself differently. Like it really that it's a self-discovery. That is not something that happens overnight.
Yeah, and everyone's journey goes at a different pace. And just
Oh
because someone
yes.
else is there ahead of you doesn't mean you won't get there yourself, too, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I have people already writing me since coming out about it that are older than me, that's had it longer than me, that still have more fears than me. And that I don't judge them for that. Like I empathize with that because I could have had that exact same mindset. That is valid. That is so relevant because that's what our society has taught us we need to do.
Yeah. What do you hope that our community, the LGBTQIA plus community, can learn from you being as open as you are now about your HIV status?
I just hope that some other people feel less scared. I'm here to relieve fear. I'm here to let go of just that expectation. Like, I know I expected somebody with HIV to look, sound, act, appear a certain way, and you would kind of be judgmental towards that person. I hope that I can make people look at it a different way. You know, like just I'm a normal functioning part of society. Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with me, and you wouldn't be able to know without me being so vocal. So this is capable for anyone.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it. If I can do it, you can do it,
Ah,
girl.
100%. Look, I love that, drag has really given you a platform. But before that, I mean, you have been, and if we sort of touch back on your growing up a little bit, you said, it wasn't the easiest ride. You've been fighting battles. What role do you think drag has played in helping you find your voice and find your confidence?
Drag has allowed me to keep the dream alive of wanting to become something more. I, at a very young age, wanted to do very extravagant things in life and achieve very, very big goals. And things like my HIV status kind of ruined that idea in my mind for a while. And once I was able to still believe that those things were achievable for me, I think everything just kind of fell into place.
So it sounds like you are a dreamer and you're a believer in the dreams. And if that saying, "Don't dream it, be it," right?
Yeah, like it's a, people always talk about manifesting, and a lot of people are like, oh gosh, a vision board, oh gosh. But like the power of saying it and believing it and putting it into the universe. You know how many times I've said negative things about what could happen and negative things, maybe not the same, but just things turned out negatively. I try to be so optimistic and so positive about things now, and it has continued to just give me back in life hand over. So I'm just going to continue doing that and hoping that other people start to like figure that out in life. Like it's a really beautiful thing.
I applaud that in you because, with everything that is going on in this country and with the way that the administration is trying to erase people, how do you continue to be positive? I mean, I identify as a gay man, and I'm struggling. I struggle constantly, and I try to go, come on, we've got to get up and do the right thing and be positive, but it's like hour after hour, there's another attack on us. How do you find that confidence?
Well, I remain positive because I'm already HIV positive, so I have no choice. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I feel like we haven't even had that much time to be comfortable, to enjoy it. I remember them not being so accepting not that long ago. Like I saw that in my early childhood. So it's not unfamiliar. And in that case, I'm like, oh, if okay, so if you want to bring me back here, I am going to go back to the comfortable and enjoyable place 10 times harder next time. Like this, I feel like just kind of galvanizes me to want to be more vocal and to like support our community in getting what we really need back.
I've heard you mention in previous interviews, you've talked about there have been many happy mistakes in your life. What do you mean by that? And how have you been able to turn mistakes into a positive or a happiness?
Happy mistakes. It's in life there's a lot of times that you set certain expectations for yourself or a certain situation or an event, and you get so discouraged because things don't turn out the way you want them to, or you planned them to, or you envisioned them to. And to be able to roll with the punches, to be able to just let that go and ride the wave, um, I have learned in life after fighting that for many of years, okay, many of years. After embracing that, I have learned that like things turn out better normally. Like a perfect example are promos. I was not supposed to be covered in glitter head to toe. I had couture sent from Greece that was stuck in customs, and like it was a whole ordeal. And we, I mean, in 24 hours came up with this plan, and it is a viral moment that like I could never be more grateful for in my entire life. Like this is something that I've always wanted to do, and I was like, oh, there's no way I could ever do that because I even thought that I wasn't trans enough to put myself out there, my own body out there that way. And just the love and support of the team with RuPaul's Drag Race, with MTV, with everyone. Just I felt so empowered um, to make something like that happen that I never, ever, 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 ever would have dreamed I could do. Like I would have just been like, nah, I'm grandma, I'm 34, nobody wants to see me like that, like I felt like an angel, like that had just dropped down from the little gay heavens.
Well, and with a whole lot of glitter, you certainly looked it. Looking ahead, what kind of legacy do you hope to leave both in the world of drag and performance and also in the world, I guess, of HIV advocacy? How does Lexi Love, how do you want your story to be remembered?
I just want it to be remembered. I don't care. I'll
Good
put
or
as
bad?
much of it. I'll put as much of it out there as I possibly can. There's been plenty of bad. There's a lot of the things that people celebrate now individually judged me for in life, and that kind of it jaded me a little at certain times. So anything, like let's be a part of history. Let's be a part of culture. Let's be a part of change. Like that is the most magical thought in the world to me.
Lastly, if there is someone who watches this and they are really struggling with their HIV status, what's one thing that you hope they hear from our conversation that might give them some encouragement?
I promise you that I was worse. I promise you, whatever situation you're in, whatever, like I was worse. I should be. I said it on my Meet the Queen, instead in a gutter right now, and I'm not. So you can do better than me. So do it now. You could be like, Beyonce. I don't know. Like you have all the capabilities in the world. Do it now. And I, Lexi, love you.
Touring, music, what is life like beyond Drag Race, and where can we hear you and see you and admire all your amazing talents?
Well, I am unfortunately leaving the industry and becoming a nun.
Okay.
So you will not be able to, I'm just kidding. I
Sister Love, or what?
sister, yes, yes, God. Sister, yes, God. No, I am going to try and be and see and do every single thing that comes my way. So if you want to see me, help me get there. Like, give me the connection. I want to see you. I want to meet you. I know a lot of people are like, oh, we can't get this person because they're XYZ, or like this expectation of them. And we know how expensive it is to do these things. And I'm like, I just want the life experience, I just want to go and see and meet you. So meet me, like anywhere, anything. Trust me, I'm coming everywhere. Just get ready.
Well, I appreciate you making the time to meet me and do this interview. Lexi Love, thank you so much. This has been great.
You're an angel. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hey, that is going to do it for this episode. What did you think? You can leave a comment below and be sure to like, follow, share. We're across all your favorite social platforms at Plus Life Media. And you can always check out our website, pluslifemedia.com. Until next time, be nice to one another. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.